My client today is pregnant. She's also my niece. On a personal note, family's very excited. She wants to know what kind of nails she should get when she's expecting a baby and all the questions that go with pregnancy and nails. So my niece Bree is getting her nails done. She's 6 months pregnant. Okay, here's her little set of nails. I'm very excited to do this set of nails, actually. Okay, so first of all, how are you feeling?
Not the best.
Oh, it's tough.
I've been so nauseous the whole time.
How do you feel right now, too?
I'm okay, because I'm sitting.
Mm-hmm. I know, it's tough, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, we are going to walk through the steps of getting the nails done, but we're going to talk about everything that goes along with pregnancy. When you're pregnant, sometimes your hormones, naturally your hormones are going crazy. Yeah. And sometimes it can change the balance of the oil content in your natural nail bed. So whenever I'm doing somebody that might be in this situation, I would remove all the oils completely off of the nail bed just to hopefully counteract if you're going to get any excess oil. So I will use, this is not sponsored by any means, it's not branded, just use pure acetone and just give it a nice little, you don't have to overdo it, but just like this. I fold it in half and I just go on the natural nail and remove all that oil off of there. So I know I'm starting with a really clean palette and there is no oils on there whatsoever. Now, do you ever experience any lifting or anything when you get your nails done?
I've been lucky. Mine actually lasts so long.
Awesome. So you don't really have an oily problem, which is great. Now, that can change, too.
Yeah, I was curious how much it would change.
And it's not right or wrong. It's just a different oil content in a person's natural nail bed. Changes throughout our life. Women with menopause, all that kind of stuff. So it's not a big problem unless you're putting something on that you want it to stick. Yeah. But it's natural, it's normal, and there's nothing wrong with it. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is buff these nails ever so gently. And I'm going to use a brand new arbor band, as you would for any customer. There's really no difference in precautions that you would take when you're pregnant that you wouldn't follow for anyone.
Oh, perfect.
You all just want to be clean, keeping up your safety standards. I would maybe offer a pregnant person a mask, maybe. But I also take a lot of precautions. I have a fan in the room and blowing all the small dust out of our breathing zone. So the heavy product falls and the light product goes like this, the light filings. So if you have an extraction fan, I don't hear because it's very, very loud. And cameraman's picky about sound, so we don't want to add that. So I have a small fan. Any fan in the room will move the air and keep those small particles away from our breathing zone.
That's so cool.
Having said that, I always wear a mask anyway. And you can as well. You can offer your pregnant client a mask.
I'll put one on. Perfect. Now we match.
That's right. Okay, so we'll buff up these natural nails and get them all ready to prepare for product. Okay, so Brianna asked me to put a nice, comfortable, relatable set for a brand new baby boy. You're having a boy.
Yeah, so excited.
So excited. So you've been feeling kind of nauseous, eh? Are you puking every day?
I was for months. It was so bad.
Oh, Brie, that sucks.
Finally, I'm starting to feel better.
Oh,
so
good.
I'm hoping third trimester is better.
Yep.
And we'll see.
Yeah, that's good. And for myself, I puked. If puking bothers you, don't watch this part. I puked through the first, actually for both of them. But you remember the first one more because it's the first one that you're puking every day you didn't expect. But yeah, I remember doing a client's nails and literally said, "Oh, excuse me for a sec, Melly." Went up, went to the washroom, threw up, come back, sit down, start doing some nails. And she goes, "Did you just throw up?" She knew she was pretty close to me. "Did you just puke?" Yeah. I mean, you get so used to it after a while.
Yeah, it doesn't really faze me anymore.
No, you just kind of get used to it. It's just par for the course. It's unfortunate. I suffer motion sickness really bad, and my doctor thinks that the two of them are correlated.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I don't know if it is true or not, but everybody I seem to ask about morning sickness does seem to have motion sickness.
Oh,
do you?
Yeah, I can't go on a boat.
Yeah, I get sick on a dock. Yeah, it's really bad. That's very interesting. And I did that with both my kids. It was really, really bad. One time I was working in my salon. I mean, I worked up until literally the day I went into the hospital. No, I was feeling really sick, and that was the night that I went in, which is insane. Don't ever do that. That's not good. But I remember I was about 8.5 months pregnant. And, you're not eating much because your stomach's upset all the time, right? Mm-hmm. So I remember going across the street, like, I better get something to eat. So I go across to the grocery store and I find, an apple. I think I can stomach that. So I grab the apple and put it in a bag at the grocery store. And then I walk across the street. My shop was just kitty corner to the grocery store. So I threw it in the bag, walk across the street, and just as I'm walking across the street, I get the urge to vomit again.
Oh, no.
This is a busy intersection downtown Victoria. And I'm like, oh, no. So I started puking. Where am I going to? So I puked in the bag of my apple. It's all I could get for lunch.
Oh, no.
But I was so desperate when I got back to the shop. I mean, I was so tired by that point, and I just sat down, washed my apple off. What am I going to do? So I ate it. I needed lunch, and I wasn't going back out there again. Yeah, you do what you do to survive, right?
Mm-hmm. Honestly, at that point, I probably would have done the same.
Yeah, I think all of us, it's survival at that point. Okay, so you don't have to do this, but I'm just going to shorten the natural nail just a little bit. Just make it even if you want. You don't have to do this. It's totally not necessary.
Can I take my mask off now?
Oh, yes.
We're not grinding?
Yeah, we're not grinding. Yes, we're finished the filing. So, yes, go ahead and take your mask off. It does get kind of hot sometimes. Mm-hmm. And uncomfortable if you're not used to wearing a mask, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so Bree wanted me to do her nails, and we're going to do a nice, I've had a couple of kids, and I had my nails through my entire pregnancy, and I had nails when the baby was born. But it depends what you're used to, too. I mean, some people can handle 2-inch nails. I wouldn't recommend that, but if you're used to it, you're used to it. So I'm going to put a set of nails on her that I think are really manageable, really cute, and still has nice nails, but not going to be a priority because, let's face it,
Gonna be busy.
Baby's going to be priority. So I'm going to put the dehydrator on. Now, we have removed all the oils, and acetone is somewhat of a cleanser and disinfector as well, but these two work together, so I'm just going to put the dehydrator on. I'm just going to put the primer on. Primer goes on very sparingly. One dip sometimes can do all fingers.
So I just got a question.
Yeah.
Is it okay to sit for long periods of time while getting my nails done?
Well, yeah. I mean, that's a great question. I guess it really also depends how pregnant are you,
Yeah.
right? Because it can be really uncomfortable sitting for long periods of time if you're driving in a car,
True.
you're flying in a plane. So as a customer, maybe you want to pick a nail technician that is actually quite quick at their service, someone who doesn't take a really long time, or they know that to take care of you during the pregnancy, that they can let you get up in between,
Take some
maybe
breaks,
walk around a little bit, take a bit of a break, depending on how long the service is that they're doing,
Okay.
right? And if you're a nail technician, which you are learning to do
Yes.
nails, that's a whole other ballgame, because if you are sitting at the nail table and you have clients every day, all day, which I did, I was in that situation, I would literally design my salon that I have to get up for certain things.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah, just to make myself get up and go get the polish. Or when she gets up to wash her hands, I can get up at the same time and walk around a little bit. But I did it pretty quick. I was able to do them like 30, 45 minutes turnover. But some clients might take a little bit longer, but it's a good idea to get up and walk around. I mean, it's a good idea anyway. Again, these are all really standard, kind
general
of being
things.
healthy to yourself kind of thing, just general things. But yeah, you want to get up and move around as much as you can. I would actually literally take my gel lamps, because I did acrylic, so we only did the gel maybe at the end of the appointment.
Yeah.
I would put the gel lamp somewhere else.
I'll give you the excuse to get up.
So I'd have to get up. And so it just reminds you, because if you don't have that reminder, you might not do it. You know? Okay, so you've worn nails before. You've had them quite long and stuff.
Yeah, I usually have them way longer.
That's right. So I'm doing these very practical, and they're going to be very baby and mom acceptable and relatable for what you're doing in a day, right?
Yeah.
What you want is a nice smooth edge. Baby's skin is very, very tender and thin and delicate. So you want a very nice smooth edge. So I'm going to do obviously a very short and comfortable length, because when you're expecting, you don't know exactly the delivery date always. Sometimes you do, but you don't want to be caught where you just need a fill and the nails are super, super long.
That's true.
So you want to keep them on the shorter side so they're not really long and unruly by the time the baby's delivering. You're like, oh, I didn't get a chance to get my nails done. So I recommend, I'm being really practical here, but I mean, before babies, all this stuff is so fun to do, and you can really, go crazy and have them 2 or 3 inches long. But when you're getting to this stage, you kind of want to just focus more on the baby and not so much on your nails and stuff. So it's nice to have them done, but it's you want to be practical about it and have a very manageable length, because you're going to have your fingers in everything. So it's nice to have them so they're manageable and they're not getting in your way. You don't want that to be, a pain in the butt or the focal point. So we're going to go quite short and keep them nice and tapered in as much as we can. How fast do your nails grow?
Not so fast, honestly. I usually go like 3 weeks for fill.
Okay, perfect. So if you're getting close to that date, of course, you can be 2 or 3 weeks off. And if you're able to schedule it, some can schedule it, which is great. Then then just get them done just before that, of course.
Yeah.
But, if you're due on the 15th of a month, then maybe get them, just kind of schedule them around the 10th.
Yeah, as close as you can.
Buy a little time. When I was pregnant, I remember being, concerned because I didn't know anything about it other than how to do nails. So I actually contacted my doctor and talked with her about it, and she took all the ingredients that I use, and she consulted the Poison Control Center, and they reviewed the products and learned about the products, and then she reported back to me and said, yeah, everything that we can see, everything is very safe. I've checked with the Poison Control Center, and they said the products that you're using does not cross the placenta.
Oh, perfect.
So I felt much better about that, but still, I was still very cautious, and I was still just being careful. So I remember I wore a big mask, like I used to do airbrush art.
Oh, yeah.
So I wore one of those for the first 3 months. And I had a cross ventilation going between the front door and the back door, and I had all the fans going just to be extra safe. Just to, just give me a peace of mind.
Yeah.
But, there's been a lot of studies about it and a lot of research. And I actually talked to Doug Schoen about it, and he said following the safety precautions and consulting with your doctor about the products that are being used is one way to go to make yourself feeling comfortable.
Perfect.
But he said it's really basically the same as the same safety standards for everyone else.
Oh, well, that's good to know.
I know, it really made me, it's good to know that even years later, we're still at the point, we've done so many testing, so much studies on nail products that we have still learned that it is very safe. And we're using them properly. That's the most important thing. Anything can not be as safe if you're not using it properly. But the number one thing is we want to use the products as they were designed to be used, using them correctly. Okay, one more little finger.
These are looking great. So much shorter than I'm used to. But
is.
But I love them.
And you're 6 months at this point. You still got 3.5 months to go. So you could have them long and crazy, but we'll just do them like this just to show what you like if you're, just before you're expecting.
I do like them, though.
And they're very manageable.
Oh, yeah.
I had them probably twice as long as this when I had my kids.
Oh, wow.
But, you're used to them and stuff. And as long as the edges aren't sharp,
True.
It's no big deal at all. And they're actually can be safer or easier to work with than natural nails, because if your natural nails can be so thin, they can be like razor thin. But fake nails have a bit of a blunter edge to it. So they can actually be safer. You might scratch yourself less. Like if you use them to scratch, you ever notice you get fake nails done and you're like, oh, I don't get as good a scratch as with the natural nails if you were lucky enough to have long natural nails. So I think when you're working as a nail technician, just making sure you're taking enough breaks, making sure you're not booking yourself too tight. And you got to compensate for every week that goes by.
Yeah.
So what you may be able to handle at 6 months, you might not be able to handle as easily at 7 months. So if you're taking 2 or 3 clients a day at 6 months, you might feel comfortable just taking one less.
Yeah, that makes sense. I find like I'm changing every week anyways, so.
It is true. Well, you're growing and you grow really quick, right? Especially you're in the last trimester now.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot.
Yeah, it is. But I find too, clients are really understanding, and majority of clients are female, so they really get it. They may have been through the experience, of course, so they can be really sweet and understanding about it, even if you're, puking in between nails.
I'll just run to the bathroom. I'll try not to do it in front of them.
Yeah, try not to do that. Great, they're going to be so cute. Okay, so let's file these up. Let's get these off, and we'll put our mask on, and we'll start filing.
So after I have the baby, if I can't get to my nail artist, what do you suggest I do?
Oh, that's a good idea. You're thinking ahead. That's good. Okay, so if you can't get there and your nails are growing, you've had the baby and you're just so busy, which is very realistic, what I do suggest is have a good file, just like one of these files, and shorten, because what'll bug you the most is the length.
Yeah.
Just short, because you need something quick. You just need a quick answer. Just shorten them, as short as you can go. That feels comfortable until you can get in.
Okay,
That's
perfect.
what I recommend. I'm just going to shape these up. And I think I'm going to go like a really nice rounded corner so that you don't catch on anything. So it's just a nice, easy... If something gets caught into there, it'll just slide right off. It won't be hooked on. Square can tend to do that a little bit more. So we'll just make these a real no-nonsense, adorable set of nails. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and file these up, and then we're going to gel polish them. So Bree's having a boy, so she's picked a couple of colors to reflect that. It's in my Suzie's Trendy Christmas. They happen to be in the same one. So have you got names picked out?
Yeah, we've got a couple.
Yeah. Are you allowed to say what you're thinking?
I think my husband will be okay with it.
Okay. What do you got?
Well, I like more like different names.
Yeah.
I like the name like Harlow.
Oh, that's cute.
Really cool. I haven't heard that a lot.
It's new to me.
Yeah. I haven't met a kid with that, so that's
No.
cool. Like he'd be a cool guy.
Yeah.
I like the name Liam. Seems kind of classic.
Liam's nice.
Kind of short, sweet.
Yes.
Like the name Cooper too. That's
Cooper.
pretty cute. I've heard it in the Yellowstone franchise.
That's right. How cool is that guy?
Yeah. So it's a few,
Nice.
but kind of got to.
Are you open to ideas still? Or are you
Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if anybody's got some name ideas, throw them at Bree. You like something pretty, like cool, strong.
Yeah, nature inspired.
Yeah,
I like that.
That's cool. Oh, that's
Yeah.
right, because there was another one in there. You allowed to say that nature inspired one? That's cool.
That's the middle name. We're gonna keep that
Okay,
one.
you're gonna keep that secret?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a
good
family
for you.
name.
Is it? Oh, okay. I didn't realize that. That's cool. I never even thought of like names that are nature inspired. I guess Sky would be something that would be.
Yeah, that's a good.
Okay.
I think that's a really nice name. I like Cedar. That's a cool name.
I've never heard that.
I knew a girl who named her son Cedar.
Really?
Yeah.
Never heard that. That's kind of cool.
I like the nature names, but not everybody likes them as much as me.
No, that's fair. And that's the whole prerogative you get when you get to name your own babe. That's exciting, though.
Yeah, so you being a mom, do you have any advice for me, non-nail related?
Non-nail related?
Yeah.
Yes. My biggest advice is, and I see this everywhere and I'm so against it, never let a baby cry.
Yeah, I don't think I could. I'd be like...
It goes against women. Most women are like, I don't want to do that. But, you read a book and you hear something and experts tell you to do... Unless they've had a baby. Never. Because that's the way a baby communicates. What are they supposed to say?
Yeah, they can't really talk.
Yeah, that's how they communicate. So when you pick it up, you're consoling, you're comforting it. When you leave it there, you're ignoring it, and it's going to feel abandonment. That's going to affect them. That's going to affect them later.
I'm going to want to snuggle him all the time. So.
And you know what? They're a little baby for such a short time. They're actually only a baby, a newborn, for I think it's 3 months.
Oh my gosh, it's so short.
That's gone in a second. I mean, since you've been pregnant, you've had 2 of those 3 months.
Yeah, exactly.
And how fast did that go?
Yeah,
Right? You can give it a nuke. Yeah, so that would be my hugest, and I feel that strongly. In fact, if I was to ever do another type of YouTube videos, that's what it would be focused on. Is, you know, someone with experience who's had babies, not just what, you know, there are great expert doctors, but when you've got somebody saying that it goes against your heart and your soul when you're saying let a baby cry, never let a baby cry.
Okay, well, good to know.
Yeah, that would be my biggest piece of advice.
I can do that.
Yeah, you'll do that.
I'm so excited.
Well, everybody will take care of that too, because when you're tapped, sometimes, you know, you need that help. Yeah. Rely on everybody and take advantage of everybody that wants to help you.
Perfect. So you'll come visit me then.
Absolutely. Give me that baby. Okay, we'll just do a second coat. I'm just doing a really light second coat because we're going to put a third coat on. You liked this beautiful baby blue, which goes with your theme of being a boy, of course. And then we're going to put the Frost Me on top.
It's going to look so
cute. It has a really nice, like a little bit of, almost like a bit of a pinky tinge. It's quite pretty. Okay, just pop it in. Okay, so Frost Me is going to go on top. See the diff? It just kind of adds a little kind of like a Frost Me look. It's a little pinkish. It's cute.
Yeah, look, it's a nice shimmer.
I got to be honest with you. I can't wait to see the comments of the kind of boy names you might get recommendations for.
I know.
That'll be exciting.
I might get the one.
I know. That's a good point. That's a good way to say it. You might get the one.
Yeah.
Oh, that'll be fun. I can't wait to read them.
Yeah, me too.
That'd be kind of fun to tell your kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I named you after somebody had a great idea on a YouTube channel.
Yeah, by then they'll be like, what's YouTube?
Yeah, maybe it'd be something different. Okay, give that another nuke and then we'll top coat it. Okay, nuke that top coat. I end every set with a drop of oil. Just freshens it up. I even do that with nail polish, you know?
Oh, really?
Yeah, because we would give it a few seconds to dry for a little bit. And then when you put the oil on, it just helps give a nice buffer. Even though the oil went over top of the nail polish, it didn't matter as long as it was just dry enough.
Okay.
Yeah, and then it would just kind of give you a buffer if you hit the nail at all. It would just kind of slide right off. It was a great trick.
Neat little trick.
Love that little trick. Okay, now we'll take some nice pictures of these. And one thing I have to say, can you see your toes or can you bend down anymore?
No, not at all.
So my other piece of advice is go get a pedicure.
Ooh, that'd be so nice.
Yeah, it is nice. Okay, let's take a look at some photos. Well, we are so excited for this baby. I cannot wait to get my hands on it. And do comment on the names. We are going to read every one of those comments. I can't wait to see you guys come up with. Thanks a lot.